Good morning, Steve Free with the morning grain comments. We've got beans up 12 cents, corn up 5, and wheat up 5 cents. Market's trying to recover from yesterday's losses after there was talk about Russia being aggressively selling wheat out of their record wheat crop, and also Ukraine talk about if the corridor remains open, them shipping 20 to 22 million tons of corn versus the USDA's number of 12.5. The key there is logistics, and can the infrastructure bring grain to the elevators to load the vessels? And number two is the corridor deal expires in October, so it has to be renewed to get to those numbers. Over the beans, market's concerned about demand yesterday, especially to China, and also the talk about a record Brazil 2023 soybean crop. As far as the weather is concerned, continues to be mostly dry in Western Europe. The southern plains in the U.S. have seen some rain to help conditions there. It's dry in China, which a lot of people were asking, is this an impact on corn or is it an impact on wheat? And there could be a little bit of an impact on rice, but the rice crop was already talked about being down because of flooding early in their planting season. There's plenty of wheat in stocks and rice in stocks, but they shouldn't have to import any wheat because of this, and it shouldn't be affecting their corn crop at all. We'll be watching the Fed chairman's speech today, almost like the movie Trading Places. He'll be out at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, 9 o'clock Central, 8 Mountain, and could have volatile reaction to the financial markets, to the dollar, and eventually to the grain. So we'll watch and see what impact that might have. We'll also be watching any news out of Washington as far as how they can fight inflation, or more importantly, any stimulus that they send out prior to the midterm elections. From an ag standpoint, a lot of people thought that the November beans at 12.80 was a high, that maybe we're going to settle into a 13.50, 14.25 trading range, but a goal in the fall may be as low as $13. In the corn market, again, we are had run into some resistance at the 670 area in the December. Some people think we might settle into a trading range, but that the harvest lows could be at $6. The wheat market probably in a 750 to 825 trading range until we know about global supply next year versus demand. So we'll be watching the speech. We'll be watching anything out of Washington. We'll be watching any reports about crop conditions. ProFarmer basically found corn yield lower than almost every state except Minnesota, and the same as far as pod counts are concerned. 173 corn yield would be positive, but a lot of people think it could be eventually over 176, which could offer resistance to the corn market going into harvest. U.S. farmers continue to be reluctant sellers. Anything above that 670 area in the December, they probably, with the basis as high as this, sell some corn. But for the beans, they may be selling across the combine and across the scales this year, which keeps the basis strong domestically to the crushers. As always, these are my thoughts and not those of ADM Investor Services. Have a safe and profitable trading day.